Once upon a time, long, long ago, 3 wise men from the east, Caspar, Melchior, and Balthazar, decided to follow a shining star. They had heard it would lead them to a special child, a king of hearts, and they wanted to bring him gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. But the journey turned out to be much longer and harder than they had expected. On the very first day, trouble began. Caspar, who always liked to plan everything in detail, had brought an old map. "It says here we must pass through the Great Oasis of Dates," he declared proudly. But when they arrived, the oasis was nothing more than a dry, dusty field. "Great job, Caspar," muttered Melchior. "Maybe we should just ask for directions." "Kings don't ask for directions," protested Caspar. But after 3 hours of riding in circles, Balthazar stopped and asked a friendly merchant for help. "Just follow the star," said the man with a kind smile. "It will guide you the right way." And so, the wise men learned their first lesson. Sometimes, you have to set aside your pride to make progress. The next day, disaster struck. Melchior, who was so tired he could barely stay awake, didn't tie his bag of frankincense properly. As they rode through a narrow canyon, the bag fell off and tumbled down a steep hill. "My frankincense!" Melchior cried in despair. The 3 wise men dismounted and climbed down the hill. It was rocky, and Caspar tripped several times, while Balthazar complained that his turban was slipping. Eventually, they found the bag, right next to a little bird, curiously pecking at it. "This must be a sign," Melchior said suddenly, watching the bird. "I thought the frankincense was only for us, but maybe it can also bring joy to others." From that moment on, they decided to help others along their journey. They gave a hungry man a piece of bread, helped a child who had lost his donkey, and even shared water with an exhausted traveler in the desert. When they finally arrived in Bethlehem, their robes were dusty, their gifts a little worn, and their camels carried more baggage than they had started with, small tokens from the people they had helped along the way. But when they entered the stable and saw the child in the manger, they felt that all their efforts had been worthwhile. They laid down their gifts, the gold, now a little dull, the frankincense with a tear in the bag, and the myrrh, which a child had decorated with flowers along the way. Mary and Joseph smiled, and the baby Jesus looked at them with a warmth that filled their hearts. "Our gifts may not be perfect," Balthazar said, "but the love and kindness we shared on our journey may be the greatest gift of all." And so, the wise men learned an important truth. It's not the size of the gift that matters, but the kindness and heart with which it is given.